believe that Gibson made this guitar? This is the limited edition Gibson Dave Mustaine EXP Flying V in alien green. It was made in 2021 and only 100 people in the world own one. It's bright green, it's a little gaudy, and it looks like it's come straight out of Hangar 18. Of course, this would not be a Squealing Pig Guitars video without this guitar being a little bit controversial. So today I'm bringing you guys along with me and we're gonna figure out whether this is the coolest Gibson signature ever or if it's one of the dumbest. So sit back and relax and let's get straight into this Squealing Pig Guitars video. Hello guitarists, welcome back to Squealing Pig Guitars, the home of luxury drum machines here in Nottingham, England. My name is Keightley and today we're checking out a super rare 2021 Dave Mustaine signature guitar, and yes, it's from Gibson and not Jackson. But yeah, of course, when this guitar was released, it was extremely controversial as Dave Mustaine has built his entire career with Jackson instruments and never played a Gibson. Of course, this is a Dave Mustaine guitar, so this guitar looks like it's straight out of the 80s, using that kind of rust in peace type look to it. It's got a bright alien green finish, it is gaudy, and it has some really weird inlays, but today we're gonna find out whether it's the coolest signature model or one of the dumbest. So let's check out the case and get our first impressions. So guitarists, this might just be one of the craziest Gibson cases I've ever seen, coming in a beautiful purple, got the green Gibson logo, and of course, the Dave Mustaine kind of silhouette logo. This is such a cool case. Opening it up, we have the outrageous green Flying V. Just take a look at that finish. This is what they call alien tech green. It's kind of open pore, got these really cool kind of diamond style inlays. But more on that later. Let's grab it out the case, sit down and see how it plays acoustically and get our first impressions. So guitarists, sitting down for the first time with this crazy Dave Mustaine signature model, I have to say it sits really nicely on my lap. Obviously Vs are meant to be played standing up, hence the strap. In this position it feels incredible, very well balanced. Of course this is just the first impressions part of this video, so we're just going to strum a few chords and see what it sounds like, but so far I'm really impressed. It's got a really nice balance, really nice neck profile, and it's very ergonomic. This guitar resonates so well. I can feel it buzzing all over my body, and the neck is a little bit thicker than you'd usually get on a V. I'm really enjoying it. I'm very impressed so far. The guitar might look a little gaudy and a little bit weird, but my God, is it a player. So let's talk a little bit about the backstory of this guitar. So of course, as I mentioned in the intro to today's video, this guitar was extremely controversial when it was released in 2021 because Dave Mustaine has built his entire thrash career on Jackson guitars, and then later on it was Dean guitars with his signature endorsement. He released all sorts of graphic guitars and he's been known to play a lot of these over the years. If you look back to the Rust in Peace days and the countdown to extinction days, he was always using Jackson. So later on in life, obviously he's chosen to go with Gibson, and obviously for his Gibson fanboy, it's really cool because you get weird and wonderful signatures like this one, but it is quite a weird kind of crossover in my opinion. But let's have a chat about why this particular guitar is so expensive and so rare. They actually do a standard version which is very similar to this that comes in around £2,000. But on the used market, this guitar goes for a maximum of £7,500. So let's talk about why that is. So firstly, it's because of rarity. This guitar was one of the first made of the Dave Mustaine signatures with Gibson, and it was limited to 100 units worldwide. Number two, of course, is because of the brand. Gibson is a high-end brand associated with high quality and high prices, and therefore with Dave Mustaine's name plus a massive brand like Gibson, they're able to charge this amount of money. And number three, it's the finish. This finish is not on any of the other Dave Mustaine models. The official name is Alien Tech Green, which is a really bold and divisive color. You know, you're either going gonna love it or you're gonna hate it. But it also has a little bit of an open pore look to it. It's such a unique finish. I've never seen one on a Flying V like this, but it is absolutely striking on camera and in the room. I'm a big fan of this finish and it goes all over the guitar. And of course, as it's a one-off finish, it makes it more rare. But we've talked about this guitar enough. Now it's time to do what I'm calling the Megadeth riff test, which is basically where I play all my favorite riffs from Megadeth. So let's go there now. So guitarists, now it's time for the Megadeth riff section. In this section of the video, I'm gonna play my favorite Megadeth riffs. Of course, this is a Dave Mustaine signature model, the lead singer and guitar player for Megadeth. So let's start off with Holy Wars. Try Lucretia. This is a riff I always get wrong, so let's see if I can pull it off finish with a Toot Lamont. So guitarists, that's the end of the Megadeth riff test. I have to say, this guitar is one of the best Vs I've ever played. So resonant, I love the thick neck shape, and these Seymour Duncan pickups absolutely scream going through the Mesa Boogie. Let me know in the comment section below, what are your favorite Megadeth riffs? Okay guitarists, now it's time to run down the specs. So to start off with, we have a mahogany body on this Flying V with a set neck and a mahogany neck. Of course, this guitar is finished in the crazy Alien Tech green, which is a limited finish for this model. As you can see, it is a little bit open pore, which is nice to see. It's nitrocellulose, and it's also got a little bit of glitter on it, which you know, reflects the light really nicely, makes it very vibrant. And I have to say, I really like the look of this guitar, other than a few things. This has the custom Dave Mustaine profile, and it says online that it's a slim taper, but to my feeling, it's a little bit thicker than that. It's got quite a wide neck to it, but it's got a lot of thickness as well, a pretty girthy neck. So to me, that's a plus point, because I love thick necks on guitars, and that's my main criticism of shred guitars, is I always like a bit of a thicker neck. We've got the blacked out mini Grover tuners, and we have a Graph-Tech nut. Of course, it's a metal guitar, so we've got 24 frets on this one, so 2 octaves. We've got an ebony fingerboard, and we've got these really interesting inlays. This guitar has some interesting inlays. They call them the teeth inlays. They've got like a green kind of outline, and then it's got like mother of pearl in the middle, which is quite interesting on this guitar. One thing I've noticed is that they're not symmetrical, of course, so when you put the guitar like this, it does look a little bit strange. As I mentioned previously, this guitar does have a slightly open pore finish. We've got white binding and black side dots. In terms of pickups, we've got the Dave Mustaine signature Seymour Duncan bridge pickup, and then with the thrash factor in the neck. These pickups sound incredible. We've got quite an interesting wiring layout. We've got 2 volumes here and a master tone and a 3-way switch. This volume is for the bridge and this volume is for the neck, which I much prefer than the other way around. On classic Vs, it seems to be the other way around, but I'm always going to prioritize a bridge pickup volume on a V. We have the Nashville style bridge, which is blacked out, and a stop tailpiece. This is really chunky hardware, and it feels really reassured for metal. So I think the spec of this guitar is really cool, but I have to be honest, I do think the guitar itself looks a little bit gaudy. But now that we've gone over the specs, let's go back to the studio and go to the tone demonstration. So guitarists, now it's time for the tone demonstration of this Dave Mustaine Gibson signature EXP Flying V. We all know that it can do the Megadeth riffs, we know it's an absolute shred machine, but how does it perform on the clean channel? That's what we're going to answer in today's episode. Obviously, if you buy one of these guitars, you're not just going to play riffs on it, you're going to want to play a variety of different styles. So for today's episode, I'm using the Mesa Boogie Mark 5 amplifier going into a 212 cab, and I'm just going to show you the clean tones, neck, middle, and bridge, just to see if this guitar is versatile or not. So let's turn off the delay and just play a simple chord and go back and forth. Nice tones, kind of reminds me a little bit of like a Buckethead type tone. Very nice, but now let's play something a little bit more Dave Mustaine-y. So in terms of that kind of neoclassical, kind of thrash sound, it has a really nice bridge pickup tone, and these pickups aren't too overpowered. You can still get a nice clean tone from them, which is always a must for a guitar. Let's just do one of my kind of normal arrangements on the neck pickup just to see if it can do that kind of neo-soul thing. Tone, loving it. So yeah, this guitar really is an all-rounder. I'm normally not a massive fan of these in the way that they sit on me when I'm sitting down. Obviously standing up, they're incredible, but this is definitely one of the better ones I've played. So definitely try one of these guitars out, whether it's the standard range or obviously this really cool collector's item one. But this is a killer guitar and the tones have been incredible today. No criticisms on the setup. Maybe the pickups are a little bit too compressed, but obviously you can't have it both ways. If they're high output pickups, they're going to be a little bit compressed on the clean tone. But yeah, really good stuff in the tone demonstration. Now let's go to the gig test. So guitarists, now it's time for the gig test, my favorite part of these Squealing Pig Guitars videos. If you're not familiar with our channel, basically I put a strap on the guitar, I rock out, and I play through the Mesa Boogie Mark V at half volume, so it's bloody loud in this room. First off, let's do the feedback test. I'm just gonna roll up the volume and we'll see how much feedback naturally occurs. It's a very resonant feedback. It's nothing too kind of uncomfortable. It sounds, you know, pretty nice. Let's now play a few riffs. So guitarists, that's the end of the gig test. Let's go to In the Mix. So guitarists, that's the end of another Squealing Pig Guitars video. I really hope you've enjoyed this shreddy Megadeth special today. If you'd like to see more metal videos on the channel, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and hit the hype points button. Also, let me know down below what was your favorite song from today's episode and what do you think of this Gibson EXP Dave Mustaine signature. Do you think it was a bit of a cash grab, or do you think Dave Mustaine genuinely wanted to go to Gibson? Let me know down below. And of course, if you're brand new to Squealing Pig Guitars, make sure to hit that big red subscribe button. We're on the road to 100,000 subscribers, and we could definitely do with your help, so make sure to hit that big red subscribe button so we can make bigger and better videos for you. So yeah, in today's episode, I'm going to rate this Dave Mustaine Flying V a 9.6 out of 10. Yes, you heard me right. Normally, Vs aren't my favorite guitars. I don't like how you can't play them sitting down, but this guitar did everything. It was awesome standing up, it was great sitting down, you can get nice clean tones, and of course, the shred and riff tones from this guitar were absolutely incredible. The mix of the Seymour Duncan Dave Mustaine signature set with kind of a Gibson style body with a thicker neck, it just resonates so nicely, and this particular one was incredible. I really wasn't expecting this today. As you can tell by the title of today's video, I honestly thought this guitar was going to be a bit of a dumb one. I thought it was going to be, you know, more of a kind of looks guitar rather than a playing guitar. It's a bit of a statement piece. However, as a Gibson fanboy, I do believe this is such a cool and unique guitar. I don't think it's the coolest signature that Gibson have made, and I don't think it's the dumbest. I actually think this guitar is a very well-rounded instrument, and it brought a different side out to my playing today, hence why I've rated it so highly. I love the look of it. I'm a big fan of anything green, so I'm kind of biased in that way. My only criticism would be, I think it would look way better with chrome-covered pickups. Maybe a little bit of like a brushed chrome look that you get with EMGs. Let me know what you think down below. I think that's the only thing that would improve the look of this guitar, especially with the kind of old-style Les Paul custom knobs. I think it just looks really cool. I'm just not a big fan of that kind of black coil look on this particular guitar. But they are my thoughts today. This guitar is set up to perfection. It's one of the better sounding Flying Vs I've played, and through the Mesa Boogie, you're just getting Megadeth tones for days. But as always, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Make sure to leave a like, make sure to hit the hype points button, support the channel any way you can. We really, really appreciate it. But that is the end of this Squealing Pig Guitars video. My name is Ben Keightley, and I'll see you tomorrow for another one. But until then, keep rocking, guys. I'll see you soon.